clever winning strategy. I've won all easy victories almost in one single stage. In the others, I've simply get in touch with the competition and read it. Only on one day, I give everything, get a lead and then defend this to the finish. I've used this strategy in the motorcycle race and it also works well in the car race. Co-driver Jean-Paul Cottret also made Peter Hansel's victories possible, who not only showed him the right way in the desert, so to speak. He definitely belongs to one of the top co-drivers, preparing extremely well, and when they come to camp, not only look for an hour at the roadbook, but sit for 4 to 6 hours meticulously in front of the roadbook and go through all the route again and again and see if he finds anything to have an idea of how the stage looks like the next day. These are preparations that very few make and that makes the difference. In addition, it's mechanical knowledge in which he's able to repair the car from time to time and when something happens. Especially in the last Dakar, the large dune areas were particularly difficult to navigate because typical reference points were missing. Many colleagues and even favorites got lost, but not Cottret. He knows where to go and he has the least cases of getting lost in a race. On 2 days that made the difference for him. He works extremely well under pressure. Cottret is someone who delivers very good information, who understands everything very well and has a sense of where the correct route is. Even if all the tracks go left and he thinks it should be to the right, then he goes to the right. He has the feeling. Anyone who thinks that Peter Hansel is the boss in the cockpit is mistaken. The passenger takes on much greater importance than many believe. Cottret tells them, for example, when to go to the start, when Peter Hansel eats, drinks, and a lot more. Passenger in the car is the boss. This should not be forgotten. One thinks that he only tells the driver something. No. If the driver doesn't listen to him, he's making a big mistake because then he can possibly go wrong or doesn't see a hole or something like that. Stefan can rely 100% on Jean-Paul, or Polo as we call him, and the team has worked very well at this for many years, whereby each contributes 50% because it can only work like that together. Just like the co-pilot, Cottret, pilot Peter Hansel has special skills which team manager Quant can totally rely on. He has a feel for the car to move it quickly and safely on the track without bumping into anything. He is one of the most accurate off-road drivers I know. And when you see the car after the Dakar, it still looks new. I don't have any other cars that look so new. All others are battered and I can sell this car as a new car. That is something very special. He doesn't break anything on the vehicle and he doesn't go over any stones with it. He pays attention to his material and still drives at a high speed, which he can vary the way that he wants to. It is a rarity amongst drivers, and I've getting 2 minutes a day, then he does it, or I'm going to be a little bit slower today, and then he does it. Despite all the victories, Stefan stands with both feet on the ground. A guy who one can touch, not an unapproachable media star, but down to earth, always friendly and without airs. If there's time, Stefan visits with his second wife, Andrea Maya, also rally driver, his children from his first marriage, and his father, who often stopped by to bring him a bike to try out. Down in the garage, a more than overcrowded trophy wall. It still bears witness to the victories from his time in skateboarding to the Dakar successes. He proudly shows how it all started. That's my first motorcycle. I was 8 years old. It is an original a Yamaha 80cc. And this one my father sold when I was growing up. And then about 10 years ago, I did some research to find this bike, and I found it. And of course, I bought it back immediately.
Did it cost much?
There was an exchange. I just gave an all-new motorcycle and received my old one. I wanted to have it again as a keepsake. After 6 motorcycle victories in the Dakar, 2002 he moved from 2 to 4 wheels, the car a Mitsubishi Pajero.
Yes,
it's not easy, car and motorcycle riding is not the same. In the car, it is less physically strenuous than on the back, but I first had to learn how to drive car sportily. The drifting, skidding, and of course the many jumps. It takes time. You cannot just stop with the bike and then it is good in the car. You have to train a lot.
Il faut s'entraîner.
3 Dakar victories in a car from 2004 to 7 make him a champion. In 2009, Sven Kant brings the Frenchman to the X-Ray team, and not just because of his driving skills. The beauty is, you don't need to manage him. He knows everything. He's one of those few drivers that you don't have to say anything to, but with whom I communicate. We decide collectively what we do and what not. But we also talk about things where we say, well, last year he had 2 blowouts in the first 2 days, and there I went to him and said, Stefan, that's enough. We lost the rally last year due to tire problems. We won't do that anymore now. Then he had no more tire problems. Then there are also things where he knows he has made mistakes, and I can tell him that. Can you tell him that? No more blowouts at all? Yes, you can say that to him, because then he drives exactly so that he doesn't have them. To rely on the best from the drivers and the front passenger seat is not enough. The preparation for the enormous stresses during the rally is at least as important. For this reason, the X-Ray team drives several times each year to Morocco. On the program, long road tests, material tests, and bug fixes. The tests begin in May and June, and we are then a week in Morocco, then sometimes in July for a week, and then we travel up to 6,000 kilometers through the desert to see whether the parts hold. There's not a problem even when the car stops again, then we can fly there or go there and fix it. We try to test the kilometer capability of the parts and have a double distance as safety. So normally when a part has 5,000 kilometers, then we change it after 2,500. Just to be sure that it doesn't break beforehand. The training area is optimal because there are many dunes and gravel roads available. The team leader doesn't want to leave anything to chance. If an error occurs, then the mechanics go to work immediately.
The Falcon Polo Cup forms part of the Extreme Festival, the premier categories.